Good evening. Welcome. Bienvenidos a Elecciones 2018. Tonight, you will have a chance to hear and meet Karla Silvestre. She's a candidate for the Board of Education at large. And Santiago Tavara, writer, editor, and reporter in the Metropolitan area. I need to say that I know Karla since she started working as a Latino liaison for the county executive. And let me assure you that in my humble opinion, and after seeing several people in that position, Karla Silvestre is so far the best liaison the county has had.
Thank you.
And she's intelligent, dedicated, diplomatic, and caring with all. Saying that, Karla, how do you see the Montgomery County Public Schools now, and what do you think need to change?
Thank you, Elizabeth. I think that we are privileged to live in a county with such a fabulous school system, a strong tradition of excellent education, and we must continue that. And that's why I'm running for Board of Education, because we have done a great job with some students, but we have a long way to go with other students. As you know, right now we're graduating about 3 out of 4 Latino students. That's not good enough. That's 78% graduation rate. The low is lagging behind other groups. For our English language learners that are starting in high school, we're graduating 40% of those students. That's not good enough. So again, we come from a tradition of an excellent school system, but I see that we can do a lot more to improve the graduation rate of our African American students that are 88% and our Latino students that are at 78%. I also want to really focus on hiring and retaining the best teachers that also reflect our community. We have a teacher shortage in this country, and if we're not proactive about bringing the best to this county that understands the population, that is the best trained, we're going to fall behind. And you know that the magic happens in the classroom. It's so important to have a great teacher to engage our students. And likewise, it's so important to have a great principal. Principals are the leaders of their schools, and that leadership is really important. So I want us to really focus on attracting and retaining the best teachers and principals, and also working on that graduation rate.
Do you have any specific plan to increase the graduation rate among African American and among Hispanics?
Well, the county right now is, we have to start, graduation begins in the toddler years. So we have to start with early care and education, so make sure that our students are ready for kindergarten. That's where the gap begins. Many of our kids that are not in formal, high quality pre-K begin kindergarten already behind. So we have to come together as a community, and the county is starting to talk about this right now. How do we increase high quality childcare, early care and education for our neediest students so that they can start on an even playing field in kindergarten? So it starts with early care and education so that they start all on the same level. Our dual language schools, our Latino students come with Spanish as their home language. That's an asset. We need to really rethink of how we're doing ESOL, and the superintendent has begun dual language programs in Montgomery County. That is the proven model for academic achievement for Latino students that have Spanish as their home language. It has to be well implemented, it has to be well resourced, but that is a model that's going to increase student achievement for our students here in Montgomery County.
And you also mentioned that we must be proactive in attracting teachers.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of incentives are you planning to offer to teachers, and also to increase diversity among teachers in the Montgomery County?
Well, we have to do a couple of things. First of all, we have to be more proactive. Right now, our system has been very slow we have to have a more effective system for recruitment. We have to recruit all year long, not just in the springtime, getting ready for the summer. We have to be looking for those best candidates all year long. We have to grow our own. How many thousands of students are we graduating from our schools each year, which are super diverse, with language skills? I would like to see a program where we find tuition money for those students that are interested in education, help them pay their education degree, and then they come to work for Montgomery County Public Schools. That way we are building our own diverse and bilingual workforce that will come back and serve our students.
If you are elected, you're going to be the first Latina, or the only Latina.
The only
Latina in the
there's
Board of
been
Education.
two other Latino board members previously, yes.
What do you think there is an absence of Latinos in the Board of Education, which is important?
Well, I think that as a community we are becoming more engaged and more participating more in different things. It's tough to be a board member because it is a part-time job per se. It's a service to our community, but a lot of people have to work full-time, and so they can't afford to give up their jobs to serve on the school board. So that's one reason. Many people wait to retire. Many of the people on the board are retired already, so they have the time to be able to do this service to their community. A lot of Latinos have to work, and they have maybe 2 jobs or a lot of family demands, so they're not able to devote the time to be in the school board. And also, running for an office is intimidating, and so we don't have a lot of experience. Slowly but surely, more people are getting into elected office, and so I think that will help others, encourage others to get involved as well.
What does a Board of Education member do? What will be your role?
The Board of Education is the governing body for the school system, so we supervise the superintendent. Just like the board of a company oversees the CEO, the Board of Education oversees the superintendent and the initiatives of the superintendent. So we're not the worker bees fixing things in MCPS, but we hold the superintendent accountable.
And you also help approve the budget.
Right. Yes, we approve the budget.
And I guess
he presents a budget, we approve it.
Maybe that's one reason why not many Latinos run for the Board of Education, because it takes a lot of time. It's a low salary, and also most of the time they're going to spend their time there with the budget. I remember when Ana Sol became a board member, that's all she spoke about, the budget, and she wanted the community to go and advocate for issues that she was. So it is a hard position to be. And you have also a full-time job, right?
What do you do? You're full-time? What do you do?
I work for Montgomery College. I'm Director of Community Engagement, and that means going out to the community and talking to people about how they can continue their education or maybe get additional training so they can get a better job. I also do partnerships, communications in multiple languages, and just finding a way for the college to be more present in the community.
Do you think it is unfair to work part-time, in the Board of Education? It should change because education is it's a priority. Do you think it should maybe be full-time or no?
I think that we should. We tend to do things the way we've always done things, right? So yes. I think if we want more Latino representation on the school board, we have to think about how we can change that. For example, they just changed the meetings times to make them later in the day so that if a parent wants to come testify, they don't have to take a whole day off from work to come testify for a 1 p.m. public hearing. So they need to, I think that the board needs to think differently. If they want to have more and diverse representatives on the board, they need to think about, some school boards only have meetings at night. And the school board members all work because that's the expectation. People have to work to survive. And so they adapt their board to their membership. Here we've come from a different
Why is that happening here? What do you think is not happening?
I think that there has been maybe people that have been able to either retired and they do it as a retirement service to their community, or they have a spouse that makes them enough money that they don't have to work, and that has been more the traditional route, so the people that do work and do the school board are more of the minority. So that's the way that we've always done things. I think we need to think differently so that we can have more representation.
All your fans are watching the program, by the way. Why did you enter the race so late? Not very late, but almost late.
Well, I actually began considering running for the Board of Education about 5 years ago. And I spoke with some board members at the time and the superintendent at the time. It is a big commitment. I am a mother of young children, so I decided that it wasn't a good time for me then. So I don't want people to think that I just decided to do this last month. I've been doing my homework for the last 5 years, researching, understanding, really knowing what I'm getting into. But the opportunity presented itself when the incumbent decided to run for another office.
Jill.
And that because I had been thinking about it, and I felt that this was my time, the time was right with my family, so here I am.
And you widely know the county.
Yes, I'm very lucky to have had jobs that have taken me from Germantown to Long Branch to Bethesda. I really have learned everything from transportation to policing to students to safety to recreation. So I feel like I understand the county well, and I understand the students and families.
And how do you plan to achieve the opportunity gap for the Latino children? Specific for the Latino children. Address.
Yeah, I think that, like I mentioned, the early care and education is important. So we give women prenatal care so that the babies in the womb are taken care of. And then we give people kindergarten. But nobody is really taking care of the kids from 0 to 5. We're not helping the parents take care of the kids from 0 to 5.
But can the schools do that?
We started to do pre-K programs in some schools. That's what I'm talking about. Pre-K and maybe helping informal care providers provide better. So if you have to leave your child with a neighbor, how can we train that neighbor so that they have some tools that they can be using with the kids during the day at home, so that they're more prepared in their literacy and numeracy when they come to a more formal care.
So the schools do have now the Head Start, all the schools, or just
some of the schools? It used to be only half day,
right?
And we just increased it to full day, and now we're talking about expanding pre-K to all the students that need it, more of a need-based pre-K. But I'm saying, what more can we be doing from 0 to 3 or 4 in the informal setting, so that they're ready? Because I think that pre-K is going to help, but there's more that can be happening from 0 to 4.
And who makes that decision that all the schools should have all-day Head Start, for example?
Well, the county council funds it. And then collaboratively with the school system, you have to find facilities that can hold the students, teachers that can teach it. So
and money.
It's a collaboration. It's really a countywide effort. So getting them ready is the one way to achieve the gap, right? Addressing the language, taking advantage of the language with the dual language programs for the students that are ESOL. We have 22,000 ESOL students in Montgomery County. That's a significant population.
What percentage of the total?
22,000 out of 156,000. So, and then what I call if you look at my website, I talk about rigor for all. Okay, so it's not enough just to take a class and get a B. You have to encourage kids to take the hardest class that they can take, because the brain is a muscle, right? If we're not exercising that muscle, it's not going to grow and expand and thrive and reach its potential. It's not enough to take just an on-level class. If the student can take a higher level class, it's going to be hard, but they're going to get more out of it, and they're going to be ready for college. So it breaks my heart to see so many high school kids come to Montgomery College and realize they have to take all these remedial classes because they weren't taking the college prep classes in high school. Why didn't they know that? Because maybe parents didn't know to push them to take the harder class. Maybe the counselors were overwhelmed and they didn't.
I worked temporarily in Montgomery College, and it was amazing to see high school kids who couldn't take college classes because they were not in the reading level.
Or math level.
Or math level. And what? That's surprising that the children in high school have not achieved what they are supposed to achieve. Can we talk about the portables? It's a bad word, but I need to address this. So what are you going to do about it? Are we going to have less or more, or what are your plans?
So we're talking about the portable classrooms, which are, we see them at every school now. It's kind of like a staple of the county. Our student population is rising 3,000 new students to the system every year. That's been consistent for the last, 5 or 6 years. 3,000 more, 3,000 more, 3,000 more. And as a result, the schools are expanding. No more room, portables. This is a community-wide effort to fix together. The school board can't fix it alone. The county council can't fix it alone. The state legislature can't fix it alone. Governor, we need everybody involved because there's money from the state. Right now, we're talking about the casino, the money, making sure that it gets sent to the schools and not used for other purposes. We're going to be voting about that. There's things that we can do with developers. When we plan a brand new development in Rockville, Bethesda, Twin Brook, what impact is that going to have on the school population? Sometimes we just want to have the development built and have a new building, but we don't think very carefully about what impact that's going to have to grow the school. So do we ask more of developers in pitching in for school construction? I think it's kind of like a planning issue as well. It's not just let's build more and more, but when we're planning where we're going to build in the county, being more strategic about where to place a new development so that it doesn't overcrowd the schools. Nobody wants their children in portables because it's a safety issue.
You make your announcement on Women's Day. You were running for office, and also you have big endorsements. Can you talk about it?
Yes, I'm very proud to have been supported by the teachers union. Soon after my announcement, I submitted my questionnaire and my interviews. I'm very proud to have the teachers' endorsement. Also, Nancy Navarro came out very early on in support of my campaign. Most recently, the School System Retirees Association, MCPS Retirees, also endorsed me. And Ike Leggett, our county executive, has also recently endorsed.
And you are kind of new in the community. You are here 10 years, right?
10 years, yes.
What do you have get all this support from, important organizations?
Well,
what have you done?
What I said in the beginning.
As Elizabeth said, for the last 10 years, Elizabeth and I have been pounding the pavement, just trying to help people get ahead in our county. We love our county, and we want it to be the best county that it can be for our children, for their families. And so I think that people have seen that work that I've been doing collaboratively with everyone and trying to make our community better. And now they're showing their support for me because of that.
Right. And on fundraising, are you getting you doing some activities with the community or town halls or?
Yeah.
How are you doing outreach to the community?
For fundraising, they say that you have to call all your friends and ask them for money. So I've started doing that, and then just scheduling a couple times a week what we call meet and greets. So we get together at someone's house. My friend invites all of their family and friends. I get to talk to them, get them on board with the campaign, and then ask them for a contribution.
So would you qualify for public finance?
We don't. The school board
The
does
schools
not
now.
qualify. Yeah, and I put that on my website clearly. We don't qualify. So if you give me 50, it's not going to turn into 150. It's only 50, which is a big challenge because I still have to reach 656,000 eligible voters in Montgomery County. So
why don't you give us your website, and we have 1 minute.
Okay, it's www.Karla with a K, Silvestre.com. So KarlaSilvestre.com. And at Facebook, it's at Karla Silvestre, the number 4, BOE for Board of Education.
Wonderful. Karla, I know you for many years, and I have seen you working and dedicated to whatever you do. I wish you the best
Thank you,
of the
Elizabeth.
best, and I want to see you in the Board of Education.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to
Santiago.
both of you. Thank you to all our friends in Facebook that they are there writing things for Karla, saying, go,
Couple
go
fans.
Karla, go. And we'll join you again next week. Thank you.
Thank you.